tweezers and stuff like that. So I figured another small collection of things that I have is jewelry. I don't have anything like super exciting or expensive or anything. I have a couple, like my wedding ring, but everything else is just stuff that I've had since I was a kid or that was given to me. When one of my grandmothers passed, I got a bunch of her rings. Now, my grandmother that I'm talking about, it's my grandmother on my mom's side. She was a very, I might talk a little bit louder just because, I don't know. She was a very small little Catholic Irish woman. She was like 5'3", this cute little petite girl. Had 10 kids. That has nothing to do with it, but my grandparents on my mother's side were not very big people. My dad is 6'7". I am 5'11", maybe a little bit taller. Haven't been measured since I was in high school. So her ring size and my ring size are not close. Her rings I would have to put on a chain and wear as a necklace, or maybe on my pinky. I have short, fat hands. This is a scar from one of my cats. It was an accident, and then I'm just cold. And this is just lipstick that I couldn't get off my hand. I was doing swatches on it earlier, and it looks like an ugly bruise, but that's just lipstick. But I got these little sausage hands. My hands and my feet do not correlate with my height. So like I said, for reference, I'm 5'11". I wear a size 10 in shoes, which may seem pretty large, but I feel like the average one probably wears like a size 7 or 8, and I'm only in a size 10, and I'm the size of a brown bear, so that's crazy. And like my hands, it's kind of hard for a point of reference when you have like nothing to look at. I guess a lot of people have these hair clips, and this is my hand compared to these hair clips. Not a great comparison, I know. My hands and feet should be bigger. I fall down a lot and I drop things a lot, and I think it's just because those parts of me just didn't finish growing properly. But they are very thick, like little tree stumps or like baby carrots. So that's just the point I was trying to get at. I keep most of my jewelry. Let me just tell you this real quick. I used to have this cute little wooden jewelry box, like a little jewelry cabinet, looked like a little armoire, right? I'm pretty sure one of my sisters gave it to me. It was her old one, and I freaking love that thing. I used it for years and years and years. I had it for like 10 years. I loved it. Kept all my stuff in there. Like, you would open it up like a closet almost. It had like 4 little panels, I guess, and then you could just open it up, and it had little hooks to hang bracelets and necklaces and stuff, and then it had drawers on the bottom, like double-sided, like 4 drawers for rings and brooches and pins and stuff like that. I loved it. Oh my gosh, I loved it. It was not even necessarily sentimental, which I guess, it kind of was, but I just loved it because it was cool and it felt like this grown woman thing. When I married my husband and we moved into his home, because he owned his home and I was renting, so of course it made more sense to move into where he was living. I had it sitting out one day. His home was a decent amount smaller than my apartment was, and I had it sitting out one day, just not sure where to put it yet, because we were trying to rearrange anything, because I had a fully furnished 3-bedroom apartment, and he had a fully furnished 2-bedroom home, and it's hard to fit, 5 bedrooms and 2 living rooms and all that extra stuff into just a 2-bedroom home. So we were just kind of sifting through things. Anyways, long story short, now that I've told the whole story, my cats knocked it over and broke the doors off in such a way that it could not be fixed. And I guess I could have kept it, but I'm pretty sure they chipped something off the top too. Anyways, it made me so mad. I love my cats, but I wanted to strangle them. I didn't. They're fine. They were in here napping. I don't know. They ran away. Doesn't matter. Not away from my house. They ran out of my room. Anywho. So now, I keep my jewelry in these cute little baskets. I got these at Dollar Tree a long time ago. I haven't seen them in a long time. I'm not sure I even got them at the Dollar Tree in like the city that I'm living in now. I'm pretty sure I got these in the city I was living in previously, which is 4 hours from here, so who knows. But I have 2 of them. This is where I keep, pardon me, most of my jewelry. I just finished like getting ready for bed. Like I brushed my teeth and flossed. You gotta floss. You can't not floss. I guess, I don't know if that really has anything to do with me needing to clear my throat, but man, that mouthwash sometimes is... I'm using Scope. I actually just used the last of it. I have to go get some more tomorrow, hopefully, if the snow lets up. It's very, like, powdery fine snow, so I think I should be able to manage, but I drive a car. I had an SUV, but now we have just one vehicle, and I'm not certain how it's going to do on the snow. So we'll see. And then I keep some of my favorite rings in this little chicken. It's a little rooster that my husband got for me. Him and I worked together. I freaking love this thing. Him and I worked together briefly at a gas station. I'm pretty sure he bought this there because I had made mention how much I like it, and I thought, I was like, oh my god, it's heavy. Like, it's a heavy... There's like a whole bunch of collection of animals that have stuff like this, and I don't know what it's called. It doesn't have like a label or anything, but I had made mention about how much I like this freaking chicken, and I was just like, oh, because I had some jewelry, of course. I had most of my jewelry before him and I had met, but made mention how much I like the chicken, but I was like, but I'm not going to pay whatever the price was. Now, I can't remember, this was like 5 years ago, and the next day, he had bought it and given it to me as a gift, and I thought that was very sweet. And so I keep my precious jewelry in here, and the only jewelry that I like wear every day is I have my wedding band. It's just a little gold ring, and it kind of has these little divots and points right here where the like engagement ring with like the actual big stone was. I don't like to wear that every single day, and I haven't for quite some time, just because I'm not trying to say like it's a huge rock. I can't just wear this massive rock on my finger. But it's like you'll see when I show you, it's big enough that it gets caught on stuff, and I have 2 children, and my hands are just always like wet for some reason. Like I'm doing dishes. The house we just moved into has a dishwasher, so that's awesome. My husband had bought a countertop dishwasher at our old house. Our kitchen was the size of an airplane lavatory. It was so tiny. And I hate doing dishes. Oh my god, I hate doing dishes. So he had bought me that countertop dishwasher, which was a lifesaver, let me tell you. We don't need it now, though, because the house we moved into has a regular-sized dishwasher. So my hands stopped being wet all the time at that point, because I felt like before I was always doing dishes. My 2 children are very young. They weren't taking bottles at the same time. My oldest child was done with bottles by the time my youngest was born, but he had his sippy cups, and I just wanted to make sure everything was sterile, because he would have a sippy cup specifically for milk, and he would have his sippy cups for water, and then he would have his sippy cup for his like water juice combo, and those would get washed after every use. So my hands were always wet, and they get baths every other day, and there for a while their like bath schedule was off. So like one would get a bath this day, one would get a bath that day, and it's like every day somebody was getting a bath. Plus I was showering, of course, every day. So like my hands were just always wet for some reason. So I didn't want to wear my ring, and I never wanted to wear it in the shower. I would always take it off before I got in the shower. Just it would get stuck in my hair, you know, and like the stone would turn, and it just annoyed me so bad. But my wedding ring is probably my favorite piece of jewelry. Also a little stone fell off. There's like 2 parts on the side that are crisscross. The design, like I said, you'll see when I show you. And one of the little stones fell off of that. It's not noticeable. Like it was a very small stone that fell off. But my husband and I agreed we didn't want another stone to fall off. So like for special occasions, like if we go out, I put it on, or like when I go home to visit my family for a week, I take it with me and I put it on. Not really any real reason to, I guess, besides if I see people that I knew in high school back home, like, guess what, I got married. I guarantee you nobody thought I was going to, but I did, and I have kids. As cynical as that sounds. But, yeah, without further ado, I suppose, 10 minutes into the video, and I just, you know. But I suppose I will start with said chicken and show you. And he just opens up like this. I swear to God, somebody in my family had one of these, and it was like a frog or something. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna steal that. But now I don't know who it was, so I'll have to find them and steal it at some point. All right, let me show you these. Like I said, most of my jewelry is very cheap. I'm a cheap lady. What can I tell you? This. Oh, I love my wedding ring. This is my wedding ring. Let me see if I can find what side. Okay, it was on this side. Yeah, you can see that. That little right there. Sorry, my nails look disgusting. But that is where the one little stone fell out. But this, oops, focus, baby, focus. There we go. This is my wedding ring. It is my most favorite piece of jewelry I think I have ever owned and will ever own. It is very much my style. I love it. I sort of picked it out with my husband. Not really. Sorry, I'm gonna try to go back and forth in between being like closer and softer and further and louder, just because I don't know again how this mic is gonna pick it up. I don't actually remember the store we bought it from. Jared's, maybe? Jared, like the chain, like jewelry store that sells wedding rings and stuff. It wasn't Zales. It wasn't Kay's. I have a strong feeling it was Jared's. There weren't very many jewelry stores in the small town that him and I were living in at the time. And it was in there was like a little mini mall. And there was one jewelry store in it. And I think that was it. I'll have to Google it afterwards and see, and I'll maybe leave it in the comments what store it was, if I don't forget. But we went in there, and we were looking at all these rings. Mind you, we didn't have a ton of money, right? We were making okay money. My husband was heavily into Bitcoin and crypto for a while. It still doesn't make sense to me, and it didn't make sense to me then. It doesn't make sense to me now. He doesn't do it anymore. He has, this is going to sound horrible. He has an actual job. He was bringing in some decent bacon with the crypto stuff, though, there for a while. But he just did it for a little bit. One of his friends that had lived with him before we got together was really heavily into it. And it was cool. You know, they were just doing their thing. But he did a little bit of that, and then he had another job at that point. Can't actually remember which one it was. I worked at a gas station. I was an assistant manager at a gas station. The town was about 20,000 people. Small little town in Kansas. If you're from Kansas, you might know what I'm talking about. I know I'm being vague, but Lord knows, you might. My gas station I worked at was right off the highway, and as an assistant manager in a town that small, this was 2000, I guess it would be 2021. I started working there in February of 2020, right before COVID hit, so business was slow, but my base pay was good, and as an assistant manager, I made commission, and of course I was working full-time. And people liked to not show up and quit a lot at the gas station. You know, places like that have such a high turnover, so not always, but pretty often I had at least some semblance of overtime. And that summer, the general manager, so there was the general manager, my boss, excuse me, I had a little mini hiccup, the assistant manager, which was yours truly, and then there were, at any given point, 4 to 6 other employees that worked there. It was a 24-hour store, it never closed, and there were 3 shifts, you know, the morning, evening, and overnight shift that needed to be worked every single day. Well, my boss got really hurt. He was in Colorado skiing or snowboarding or something of that nature. And I think what happened, he told me, but again, this was years ago, he fell off the ski lift and he broke his leg and his ankle in so many different places. It was gruesome. He told me the story and I wanted to gag. It sounded horrible and I felt so bad for him. He was an older gentleman. I think he was in his 50s, his young, early 50s. And I felt horrible for him, and he had to miss work for 3 months, which sucks. I believe his wife was a teacher, and they had one daughter who I think graduated the year previously, or maybe it was that year. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. But because he was gone, I was the only manager in that whole store. Also, I'm gonna pause right there. If you see this chip in my tooth, I ran into a steel bar when I was about 7 years old and chipped my tooth. What are you gonna do? I just feel like that's maybe one of the first things people notice about my face, because I kind of have beaver teeth. And that chip, I've always been, I guess, not self-conscious because I don't really care. Like it didn't happen because I don't take care of my teeth, or I just ran into a steel bar when I was a kid, and it's so small, and I'm not gonna like pay money to fix that. You know what I mean? That was forever ago. Anyways, so he was gone for about 3 months, and trying to find people to. And long story short, sorry, I just cannot ever get to the point. Long story short, I worked like 60 and 70 hours a week. Every week for months. It was rough. It sucked a lot. But my bank account was fat. I did not pay for my own ring that my husband, my then fiance, or I guess before that, he bought it. And he has not told me how much he paid for it, and he never will. And I asked him how many digits it was. He said 4. And I said, oh my god, take it back. We're going to go to Walmart because that is insane. My husband is very, very, very sweet and loving. And he insisted that he would sell everything he owned just to get me a ring that was good enough for me. Very sweet man. I am very lucky to have him. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. My cat just came into the room. It just totally took me out of it. But what I was saying in the first place, if I could just stick to one thing at a time. I didn't necessarily pick out my ring. We went to the store together, and we looked at several rings together. And so he told me to pick my favorite 3, so I picked my favorite 3. And in my heart of hearts, I knew that the one that I got, here, I'll show you again because it's just so pretty. I knew this one was my favorite, and I'll show you just how it sits in with the wedding band. That's just the set. And see, it sticks out a little bit, so it gets caught on stuff. I knew this one was my favorite, and I was like, Lord, if this man is for me, he will pick the right one. And he did, so it was perfect. It worked out great. Very sentimental piece of jewelry for me, so I keep it in my most favorite chicken. The next one is this little adjustable black heart ring. Just this cute little thing. I got it off Shein, I'm pretty sure, forever ago. I used to wear a lot of jewelry every single day. If you can see, I have 2 nose rings on the side, and I have my septum. And my wedding ring. And these are, I can't take these out. I would have to cut them out. Just the way that they're placed. My septum, of course, is easy to take out, but I never take the jewelry I currently have on with my nose and my finger. I never take that off. But I used to wear rings on almost all of my fingers. I would have on at least 1 necklace, if not 2 or 3, every single day. I don't have pierced ears. I hate it when things touch my earlobes. It makes me want to scream. I don't know why I'm like that. Oh my god, just thinking about it makes me oh god, I hate it. But I might get, I believe that's called a helix. I might get that. One of my sisters has an industrial, and I think it looks so cool. But she said it was so painful. So I don't know, because my kids are still young, and whether they mean to or not, they're always pulling my hair and grabbing everywhere. And I know if it was a really hard to heal piercing, that would suck. So we'll have to see. I had these done way before I had kids. So moving on. This is also sentimental. One of my cousins got this for me. We are Irish on my mother's side, on my grandmother's side. Like I said, that sweet little Catholic you just know how those kind of people are. And this, if anybody else that is watching is, then I hope I'm pronouncing this right because I have not said it in a long time. I have not heard it said in a long time. I believe it's pronounced Claudia, Claddagh. Claddagh, I think, I believe it is. It is a Claudia ring. And the inside says love, loyalty, and friendship. I wore this for, I believe my cousin got this for me when I was 15, and I wore it until I was 22 maybe. I think when I was pregnant with my first son, I was 22. I turned 23 a month before I had him. I believe my fingers swelled up so much that I took it off because it started to hurt, and I just haven't put it back on since. Just because silver jewelry is not really my aesthetic. But it is a very sentimental ring. She got it for me, I believe, for Christmas the year I was 15. So that was really sweet, and I keep it with my wedding ring because this is a very nice piece of jewelry. This little next one I got, also got off Shein, and I just think it's cute, kind of gaudy, kind of just like whatever. But it's just this heart ring, just super cute. I thought I've only worn it a couple of times. We went to a fancy Italian restaurant, and I wore it then just because it felt fitting for some reason. Also, my poor cat, nothing happened to him. I went to pick up my cat to give him a hug, and just the way, I didn't grab him weird, but his little foot was sticking out, and his claw just kind of caught my hand. It doesn't hurt, it doesn't even really sting, which is the good thing. But, it's actually the same cat that gave me the scar on this hand, which then was also an accident. Let's see. Oh, another piece of jewelry I keep in there is my very first septum ring. Very small. I accidentally stretched out my septum hole. I don't have any other way to say that, I don't think. So now my jewelry is a little bit bigger, but when I originally got my septum, it was very small, which is how I wanted it. I don't think my dad noticed I had a septum ring until at least a year after I got it, which was fine. I was like 20 years old when I got it. I was way out of the house by then. He wasn't a huge fan, and he wasn't a huge fan of these, but he doesn't care about them anymore. My next ring is just this gold heart. I have a lot of heart jewelry. I just like it. Some girls like butterfly stuff. I like hearts and flowers and hummingbirds. That's just how it is. Just this little heart ring. I believe I also got this off of Shein or something similar. Just a little ring. And then another piece of jewelry that is near and dear to my heart is this ring. Focus. There we go. Kind of similar to my wedding ring. This is a promise ring that my husband gave me. And it's kind of funny, the order of events. So my husband and I were only together for 8 months. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months. When we got married, he gave me the promise ring. We started. This is gonna seem like a whirlwind to people, I'm sure. We started dating on April the 4th of 2021. We had been on 3 dates. We'd known each other 2 weeks, I think. We'd known each other 2 weeks, been on 3 dates. Started dating April 4th. My birthday is April 30th, and that is when he gave me the promise ring, which I thought was very sweet. He also gave me a lot of cool Lego sets. We were really into Lego for a long time. I inadvertently got him into Lego. I had bought him a Lego set because Easter was like mid-April that year. We were freshly dating, and I didn't want to get him nothing. So I stopped at Walgreens and got him just this tiny little Lego set. A few years and several $100s later, we have lots and lots of Legos. He actually just bought me a new Lego set recently. It was when Harry and Draco are dueling, I believe, in the second movie. I believe it's that Lego set. I haven't put it together yet because, like I said in my previous video, if you have seen those, we just moved and things are still crazy right now, so haven't done that yet, but it's soon to come. I also have the Battle on Mustafar from Star Wars, and I really want to do that one too. I've had that one for a long time, and I just haven't gotten around to it, but that's fine. Alright, so that was the stuff inside the chicken, and I will work. But I hit the 30-minute mark. Oh my gosh, my cat is so cute. He's just, oh my gosh. He is getting a tooth pulled in a couple of days. He had a tooth that was bothering him. I took him to the vet, and they said, "Ooh, that tooth doesn't look good. He's not in pain or anything. He's okay." And I've had to reschedule his appointment twice already because of the weather, and of course, 2 days before I'm supposed to go in, it snows again. Of course. But by hell or high water, I'm gonna take him in this time. Alright. So, I'm gonna try to speed through this as fast as I can, I guess. These two tiny pieces of jewelry were the studs that were in my nose. The place I got pierced wanted me to do studs before I did my hoops, just so it healed better. And then I think 2 months, 3 months, 4 months after I got my piercings, they were healed pretty well, and they put the studs, or they put the hoops in for me. My ears are not pierced, but if I ever wanted to feel like a fancy lady, I bought these pretty gold fake earrings. Sorry, my animals are all in the room with me now. It's their bedtime, and one of my dogs is on the bed stretching and being loud and licking his paws. So I can deal with these for a little bit, and I just thought, oh my gosh, pretty lady alert, how freaking cute. I got these at Shein. The studs I just showed you and the hoops I got from the place that I got my nose pierced. I think I got this specific ring I got from, it was either Spencer's or Hot Topic. I can't remember now. Somewhere in the middle here. And a lot of this stuff, I might just skip some of it, honestly. Like a ponytail. Heavens be. I have, well, I guess I'll just show you into one because it's tangled. I just have this cute little silver bracelet. I think I got this from my dad. And it has the little Jesus fish. And just some cute little charms. Just this little silver adjustable bracelet. Super cute. And I believe I got this from him as well. Wow, I forgot I even had this. It has a cross, a dove, and a little pendant that says faith. Cute. My dad actually bought me a lot of jewelry growing up. I thought that was really sweet. My dad's not necessarily like a girl dad. He has 3 sons and 2 daughters. And my sister's 10 years older than me on my dad's. Well, all my sisters are older than me, but he tried his best. This is like a little hairpin that I had several of them. I don't know where they're all at now. I have an Adventure Time bracelet. I was really into Adventure Time when I was very, very young. I said very young, like middle school, high school. I have this part to a yin and yang necklace that one of my friends also have. We bought it at the Denver Aquarium when we went to go visit a few years ago. I have another Adventure Time bracelet. I have, let's see. Oh, this was just like a little bracelet of some sort. I have this brooch. It's broken. It does not latch anymore. I got this from my mom when I was young. I have no idea who these people are, but I thought it was super cool and pretty, and I've hung on to it ever since. One of my friends in high school, sorry, I'm finding more of these hairpins as I go. One of my friends in high school was handing out bracelets to a bunch of the girls. We were in a program together, and he was handing out a bunch of bracelets to, well, I think to anybody. And I got this one. It's had like a magnet, and it used to be a lot more green, but it's since worn, and I thought that was cool. Oh my god, this freaking cat ring. I forgot I had that. How exciting. didn't have one in high school. Oh my gosh. I keep forgetting what all I have in here. Amazing. Okay, well, I got these from a friend in like 5th grade. I have a couple of these. Super cute. This was part of I used to play tennis. I played tennis for a couple of years in high school. And my sister bought me a tennis necklace, and this was the charm that went to it. I have no idea where the actual thing is at. Okay, let me put some stuff right quick. This is like bringing back the memories. I didn't even realize I had most of this stuff. No. So, I have a friend. She actually just got married. I was so excited for her. She has an Etsy. Oh my god, I think it's called like Witch's Charm. It's been a long, I don't actually know if it's even still up. This was a long time ago. But she sold like bracelets and other things, and she was a good buddy of mine in high school. We actually sat next to each other at graduation because our last names lined up. And she had these cute little charm bracelets, and I was like, you know what? I've been wanting a charm bracelet. I bought 3 of them. I lost one, so I still have 2. And they're cute. They're just these cute little. This is like the kind of clasp they have, you know. This is a red one. A freaking flamingo. I thought that was so cute. And then I have a black one. And I forgot I even had these. Yeah, this has a little flower. Little lollipop. There's a cute little charm. A cat. Of course, I love cats. And then a bow. Super cute. Super sorry, one of my other dogs likes to be under our bed before we go to sleep. Lord knows what she's doing down there. Yeah, if she still has an Etsy and it's like still operational, I will link it down below. I forgot I had that. How exciting. She's so funny too. She's a really sweet person. I believe she is a teacher or an administrative assistant, something of that nature. Some more jewelry in a bag. Wow, okay. So, Lumpy Space Princess. I may cut this video short after just one of these because it's getting long and I didn't realize how much crap I actually have. So I have lots of heavy rings in here. Again, I have no idea how loud that is going to be. I'm very new to this all still. And, you know, we'll see. Oh god, that probably doesn't sound great. Take them all out. Okay. Put these back. Alright. I have a lot more rings. These are some of my grandmother's rings that I was talking about in the beginning. The first one I'm going to show you isn't. This is like one of those rings that you wear on multiple fingers. I think this is right. Or maybe it's like this. I don't know. I have no idea. I bought that when I was in high school. I have this ring and it's a little watch. It needs new batteries. But it's just a little heart and it's like an adjustable thing. Really cute. I might start wearing that. I bought this when I was in high school. I'm not a crystal girly or anything. This was before like crystals like were mainstream or anything. I saw this at Target and my favorite color is green. And I thought, oh my god, how cute. Well, it's gone now. But I thought it was just so cute at the time. I got this from my aunt on my dad's side, I think. Can't quite remember. I got it from somebody on my dad's side. This is one of my grandmother's rings. I'm about to show you a lot of them. Very old school cut. And again, it's hard to tell on camera, but like, small. My grandmother was a very petite lady. She probably didn't weigh more than 100 pounds in her entire life. This is one of my favorites. Very pretty. This is another one of my favorites. I love the cut of this one. You can't tell on camera, but it's a very light pink. It just looks clear, but it's a very light pink. Super cute. Here's another one. Very nice, very good. This one is pretty unique looking, I think. And I don't actually remember her wearing any of these. Sorry, I'm looking to see if I can find the ring that I dropped. I don't think I can. I'll find it in the morning. My sets of my grandparents had 10 kids each. My mother was the youngest, my dad was second to the youngest. So by the time they were married and had me, my parents were 32 and 36 when I was born. My grandparents were like in their 60s. Both my grandfathers passed when I was really young. And my grandmothers were both really old by the time I started, like, gaining consciousness, as a kid. So I don't think I ever saw her wear any of these things, but I knew she had them and I wanted them when she died. Not to make that sound horribly morbid or anything, but there are a lot of, I think I have, how many cousins I have, I'm not sure, because I have lots of aunts and uncles. They all have kids. Their kids have kids. There are almost as many great-grandchildren as there are grandchildren. So I knew I was going to have to really fight somebody to get something that I wanted. I actually don't remember this being much of a fight. We lived in the same town. I had just graduated high school when she passed. And we lived in the same town. I actually only lived a few blocks away from where she did, so I was able to get my grubby little hands on it. This one's very pretty too. Again, this one is also light pink. There we go. This one's for all the silver girlies. Silver and green, very pretty. Oh, that one's missing a stone too. Oh, there's 2 stones missing. Maybe it's supposed to be like that. These probably couldn't. It wouldn't hurt to clean them. I don't really know how to clean jewelry super well. And these are like precious items that I'm probably never gonna wear, but they're, precious to my heart. And I don't want to screw them up. I bought this freaking cute ring at like a, I don't even know what you call it. So I grew up in a mid-sized town in southwest Kansas, and it is called Fall Fest. So there's this great big park downtown, and then they close down Main Street, which has a bunch of little shops and stuff. They close down part of the street for vendors, and they sell food and art and jewelry and like you name it. And there's music and all sorts of cool stuff. And there's a few events like that every single year. Several. It's usually during the summer, and then fall. It's Fall Fest. I think it's in either August or October. I can't remember now. That is where I bought that. Oh, this one's unique. Super cool. And I wish I had like some cool backstory for these rings. I don't. Maybe I can ask some family members and see if they know. This ring had something on it at one point. Don't know what it was. Just a plain silver ring. This one I got, and it never had the stone. I don't know. Heavens, I keep dropping stuff. I don't know where the stone's at. I don't know what kind of stone it was, but I have the cool band, so I guess if I ever wanted to put a stone in there, I could. Oh my gosh, this ring. Dang, I keep forgetting I have all this cool stuff. My mom got me this ring for my 18th birthday. And I thought it was so freaking pretty. There was this jewelry store, and I can't remember. It's not even there anymore. It wasn't there for very long, which is unfortunate. But there was this jewelry store in town, and they had like really unique, pretty rings. And I kept telling my mom, like, man, I'm gonna go in there and look around. And so we went in on around my 18th birthday, and she was telling me like, oh, tell me whichever one you like. And I wasn't thinking it like, oh, still so in love with this ring. Oh, it's just so pretty. I love it. Oh, so freaking cute. I should start wearing that more often. I love that. She also got me this like ear cuff that's a dragon. Super good. I will put that in part two. I just have a few more rings to show you because this video was getting long. That one, super cool. This one, also missing a stone, but I don't think this was my grandmother's. I think this was just one that I had. This one, oh my god, how many things can I drop? This one, this cool band. And then my very, very, very favorite of my grandma's was this one. This one is not pink, this one is just like a diamond looking thing. I don't think this is a real diamond. It might be, I have no idea. Super cool cut. Love it. My very favorite one. So, anyways, as I said, I'm going to end this video here because it's getting super long